Hey, it's Rachel. It is like 12:30, I think. Yeah, on July 5th, 2011. It's a beautiful day, and a beautiful day for loving Jesus. So, today I'm going to talk about God's plan for your life. You have a greater purpose. So, point one, who you are. You're not a mistake. If you are one of those people that have been told that you were a mistake, maybe in some kind of angry fit that your parents had when they were mad at you, or maybe they had you young and they felt like you were a mistake, but God doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't. If it wasn't God's will for you to be born, you wouldn't have been born. Even if you were born into sin and shame and poverty and anger, you know what? God had a plan for your life when you were born. He said, I'm going to raise up this small child through all this hardship so that it can be strong and share about how they overcome their struggles with the rest of the world. There's always a greater purpose for your life, even when it seems hopeless. So, you're not a space filler. Even if your life has always been grand, you're just floating about doing whatever, there's more. There's more to life than just the simplicity of what we view it as from day to day. There is more. You have a higher purpose. God made each and every one of us with a purpose. And that purpose is to serve Him by loving other people, by seeking after Him, by totally loving Him. And when I say loving other people, I mean unconditionally. To truly love the world is a hard task. Love is the most beautiful thing that I believe is on earth, that God created. And God created us to love the world and to reach out so that they may know His love. So, with God's plan for your life, you might feel like it's too late. I've already done all this crap, or maybe you're like 57 years old, or whatever. You know what? You're never too young or too old to have your life mapped out for you by God. It's actually pretty cool that we have our own personal tour guide that's Jesus. How can we get lost if we have Jesus? On a day-to-day basis, without Jesus, we get lost all the time. We really do. Even when we don't feel like we're lost, we have not been found unless we're letting God lead our steps. So, awesome tour guide capability with Jesus. Point 3. Jesus needs you to be the best you that you can be. You weren't created to be like everyone else. Christians and children of Christ, which is all of us, but those that really choose to be Christians, because God, even though He made all of us, He wasn't going to force all of us to be worshiping Him and stuff. That wasn't the plan. When I think about God's plan for the world, it's really so beautiful that He gave us this choice so that we could all help out each other and love each other and be intertwined and have God as a rock to stand on, so that we can all be the best people we can be, which ends up us being the happiest people we can be, which is really cool. So, do everything that you do. Do it be yourself, but do it to the glory of God. And you will truly be rewarded in every day. You'll really be glowing with the joy of the Lord. You weren't created to be a you that is exhausted all the time, or grumpy, or sad. That is not the best you can be. You can overcome whatever is held against you because you have God. He is your strength. You can do all things You can do all things through God because He strengthens you. I'm still new at this. Anyway, point 4. In Jeremiah 29:11 is a really, really great scripture. I think there's been a few songs that have been made out of it. I really love it. It's one of my favorites. Is For I know the plans for you I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. He has plans for us. Plans for us to have a good life and prosper. That's really cool. Point 5. God knows what you've gone through. You think nobody knows that you were shooting up the other week? You think nobody knows? God knows. God knows everything that you've been through. There is nothing too big for God. We put so much pressure on ourselves we have to carry every day, and it's so painful. We don't have to do that. We really don't. God bears the weight for us, and He said He would do it from day one. That's why He sent His Son to die on the cross, to bear our sin and shame. It's already been done. Why fight it? So God knows what you've been through. So there's no point in hiding it, really. Whether you knew He was there or not when you were going through these struggles, He was. Every time you cried, He felt your pain. You might not have knew He was there because you had not opened up your heart to Him to tune Him in. If you're used to tuning Him out because you're not used to tuning Him in, then you won't be hearing from God. The only way to hear from God is to seek after Him. And it's not like an immediate thing either. Seeking is like a long process. It's like till it's a locked in habit and you are seeking and just like being passionate about it all the time, then will the answers be revealed to you. So you can only find God if you seek Him. So in that case, like, everything in life is a choice, like, to choose to seek God. So choose to seek God. Choose to follow God and choose to have a better life. Choose to be the best you that you can be. His plan for your life is not for you to keep being so depressed. It's not for you to just wake up every morning barely being able to face the day. It's not for you to be heartbroken like I was. Completely flipping heartbroken. Could not make it through a day without crying. Couldn't. I just couldn't. I just was not stable. It's not God's plan for you to keep doing drugs. It's not God's plan for you to be a slave to alcohol. It's not God's plan for you to so incredibly need approval of man that it destroys you when people don't like you or when they judge you. People are always going to judge you. There's always going to be that person or those people that disapprove. And you just have to get over that, because that is not God's plan for your life. And it is so hard to just get over it, because I can guarantee that I am not all the way over it. Maybe I'm at like 95% now. But it's hard to just get over all the crap people say about you. But you have to, because it's not God's plan for your life. So, those who follow God's plan for their life, they're rewarded. There's many different scriptures that talk about being rewarded for your faithfulness. So, I would definitely want to look at those if I were you. In Matthew 25:12, like in a shorter, wrapped up version, it says, like, you have been faithful and done well with these few things that I have entrusted you with. Now I will give you many things to be responsible for because you have been faithful. God calls us to be faithful, and then we will be rewarded, and like more people will like us. They just will. That's the reward, I guess. You just gotta put it all in God's hand. And then last thing here is, God is the real deal. This is the real deal right here. In 1 Corinthians 15:88, it says, here, I'm reading a notebook. Therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Your labor in the Lord is not in vain, because it takes work to seek after God, but it is a labor of love and we will be rewarded for it. I mean, I can't express to you enough, like, I've been through so much. Yeah, I have reasons to wake up and want to kill myself. I have reasons to be sad. But I don't want to be that way. I went through like 5 years of my life with being miserable because of all the stuff I've been through and how abused I was. God isn't calling us to be say, woe is me. I've been through all this. I've been sexually abused. I've had surgeries. I've been screwed over. Man will always disappoint us. But we have to get over it and walk in the calling God has for our life. God has a plan for our life, and it's better than the one that you're following right now by yourself. God has a better plan for your life. Just accept it and embrace it, and you'll be so much happier. Thanks for watching.